Welcome to the Crypto Sphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Sunday, June 19th at 8 a.m. here in Northern California. I'd like to wish a happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there. And I'd like to wish a happy Father's Day to my father. It's going to be a good day today. In this video today, I want to talk about the bottom. How can we tell if we have bottomed out? This is going to be an important week as we're closing one weekly candle in 8 hours and 57 minutes and starting another weekly candle. It's going to be important for us to take a look at the volume this week because the volume this week will tell us whether we have hit the bottom or not. But before we take a look at that, I want to say that in my Patreon community, we have been talking about whether or not this is a good time to buy. I think this is a great time to buy. I think this is a great time to dollar cost average in. And I have published to my Patreon wall this morning a list of 12 assets that I am beginning to DCA into over the next 6 weeks. As I believe the next 6 weeks is really the next 4 to 6 weeks is going to be a life-changing opportunity. It has already begun to present us with a life-changing opportunity for getting into this market. So with that being said, let's take a look at this Bitcoin chart, as I'd encourage you to take a look at my Patreon community at patreon.com/cryptogenic. Please remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are simply my perspectives. I'm simply telling you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do. All right. Now, if we take a look at this Bitcoin price chart here, this weekly chart, we've been looking at the 200-week moving average, which is the yellow line, and the 300-week moving average, which is the red line. And what we said is that what we noticed, what we observed in this chart, is that the 200-week moving average has always been support for Bitcoin, except for in March of 2020 when we capitulated temporarily beneath that line and tested the 300-week moving average. What we have done here is we have broken beneath the 200-week moving average. And it looks like, unless there's a major move within the next 9 hours that takes us up above $22,000, we're going to close beneath the 200-week moving average. And yesterday we came down and tested the 300-week moving average. We stopped above it, just like we did in 2020. We stopped above it. We didn't get as close to it as we did in 2020. The question is, was that the bottom, or should we expect a lower bottom? And the answer to that question, I believe, the indicator that I'm looking for that will give us a good indication of the answer to that question, is the volume. Now, up here you've got candles, these candles, each of these candles has to do with the price. But down here, these bars have to do with the volume. The volume has to do with the number of transactions and the amount of Bitcoin that changed hands. And so here's what I'm looking at. Over here in March of 2020, we had this big bearish engulfing candle and this big red volume bar. When the volume bars are red, they're bearish. When they're green, they're bullish. So we had this huge bearish candle, this huge bearish volume bar, followed by a huge bullish volume bar. Now, I want you to notice what happened here. This is a huge bullish volume bar, but we did not see a huge increase in price. In fact, this candle is completely within the previous candle. Okay, we saw less volatility this week than we did the week before. The high is lower than the high of the previous week, and the low is higher, okay, than the low of the previous week. This candle is a doji, an upper wick and a lower wick that are pretty much equal in size. And a doji basically indicates indecision in the market. But looking down here at this bullish engulf, this huge bullish volume bar, indicates that big money is coming into the market. Notice this green bar is bigger than the green bars of previous weeks. It indicates that bigger money is coming into the market. And this green bar, even though we saw a decrease in volume in the weeks that followed, this green bar actually was the catalyst that created this whole move upward. It was a signal to the market that the tide was turning and that a new bullish trend was beginning. It took a while for that trend to really take hold, and it took, for the steam to really get moving in the market, it took about another 217 days. But in that 217 days, the market was not stagnant. You saw almost 200% growth in that 217 days, but that 183% growth was simply a warm-up for the totality of the move that was coming that would take us up, from the bottom, it would take us up about 1,750%. So if we see a green volume bar here, doesn't have to be as big as this red volume bar. It needs to be bigger than what we've seen before. If we see a green volume bar that's bigger than all of these green volume bars over here, maybe it comes up to here or something, that will be a sign to us that this was the bottom, okay? Because if this was the bottom, if we see a green volume bar, that will mean that the tide is turning. That will indicate, for all intents and purposes, that the tide has probably changed and that we're now going to begin the slow grind up, maybe the next 217 days, that will prepare us for the next parabolic move upward. So we're going to watch the volume this week. As we said before, when we look at the macro picture, all is well. Nothing is wrong. Moving around in here, it's still bullish. It's still moving up. We just can't break down from this trend. If we close beneath this trend, Bitcoin has to create a completely new trend. This line will then become resistance. And so that's what we're watching. If we do not see a big green volume bar here over the next 7 days, we may have another leg down to go. So we will keep watching, and that's why I will be dollar cost averaging into my top 12 over the next 6 weeks, because only time will tell. Do we have another leg down, or are we at bottom? But at the very least, I can say, looking at the altcoin market, we're down 75%, and most of the best projects are down even more. I mean, if we take a look at THETA token is down 94%. I mean, at the bottom, it was down 94%. At present, it's down 93% from its top. So to me, that means buying THETA token at 93% off. It's a no-brainer. I'll give you 3 from my list. I'm buying THETA token. I'm buying Cake token, even though I know that pretty much most to all DeFi projects are in the toilet right now. And the toilet to me means bargain basement. And so I happen to believe in Cake token. It resonates with me. And we went down as much as 95%. Right now we're down 93%. That's bargain basement to me. So anyway, THETA token, Cake token, and then BCH. BCH is down. It went down as far as 93.55%. It's at about 93% down right now. Way oversold in the RSI on the weekly charts. And everything we're seeing is way oversold on the weekly charts. All right, my friends, that's all I got for today. I know this is Sunday, the Lord's Day. I'm getting ready for church myself. But happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Remember, this is not financial advice. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Give me your comments. I really appreciate your comments. And above all, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.